بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. اللهم علمنا ما ينفعنا وانفعنا بما علمتنا وزدنا علما. اللهم لا سهل إلا ما جعلته سهلا وأنت تجعل الحزن إذا شئت سهلا. سبحانك لا علم لنا إلا ما علمتنا إنك أنت العليم الحكيم. أسأل الله تبارك وتعالى أن يجعل نياتنا خالصة لوجهه الكريم. I praise Allah تبارك وتعالى. I ask Allah to send countless blessings and salutations on Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wasallam, his family and companions, and all of those who follow them in excellence until the day of judgment. And I ask Allah Tabaraka wa Ta'ala to grant us the sincere intentions. I hope everyone is well, inshallah, Tabaraka wa Ta'ala. And I'm back to Scattered Thoughts, as we had a month of reflecting on the life and the statements and the characteristics and actions of Sayyidina Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in the month of Rabi al-Awwal. And now that we have passed that month, we're going back to our regular Scattered Thoughts program, which to me is the most dear program that we have on our platform, because it's the program where I believe I can be the most free. I'm not confined by anything but wherever my mind takes me. And I like that. That's just personally me. I love to be free as a bird, just flying in the horizon, whatever I like, whatever I see. I think that I'm at my best as an individual when I'm not confined in my thoughts. Just go where I want to go. In my life, that's me. When I'm confined, you're not going to get the best out of me. But if you just say go, and I love it like that. Yeah, Fatima, I am. That's why I get myself in trouble. Because I'm just free. I just say what I want. I was talking to somebody about yesterday, and this is not my subject, but since we're talking about being free. So we had this guy yesterday. He came on the platform, and he had his agenda. And I didn't know he had an agenda, but he had an agenda. And I was talking to some people about the person. I said, I don't care about his agenda, right? He got an agenda, his agenda, bring it. Like, I don't think some people realize it. I've been debating since I was like 10 years old. I love engagement. I enjoy it. And like I was telling my fellow Imam Genius, even if I lose, I win. Because if I lose a debate, I learn something. I don't mind in mixing it up. I like it. Like, so he was talking about, I'm in New York. Man, I used to ride the trains in New York as a kid debating. I used to be on 42nd Street, when 42nd Street was 42nd Street. If anyone's from New York or anyone visited New York and know what 42nd Street was like in the 80s, it was like Night of the Living Dead. You would go to 42nd Street at nighttime and it would just be crazy stuff going on. It's like, that was New York. It was like, if anyone's a New Yorker or been in New York in the 80s, 42nd Street, after 9, 10 o'clock at night to whenever, man, it was like crazy. And we would be out there debating and all kinds of people, right? That's what we used to do. So I'm not like, that was my life every single day. I'm not talking about once in a while. Every day, 365 days a week, I was in the streets. As a kid, I know what it's like. I enjoyed it. I'll give you a story. So anyone who knows, those who know, they know. We used to have to make $100 a day. That was like a mandatory minimum. Well, you had to have 100. So it wasn't a minimum. It was $100, period. Get it or get lumped up. That's how it works. Lumped up meaning somebody gonna beat your brains out, right? And so you start off like 6 o'clock in the morning, right? Well, at 9, you got to be out the building. So we get up, Fajr time, do our things, go do our training, whatever we do. By 9 o'clock, you got to be out. So we living in Brooklyn. You got to be out on the streets. And you can't come back to 9 o'clock at night. Even if you have the $100, you can't come back to 9 o'clock. And you got to be back in by 12 if you don't have the $100. So you got that 3-hour window if you didn't make your money. So we used to, one of the ways we used to get money is we used to go start debates. So sometimes we would go out in twos. So we would go start a debate. And then, because we were young, teenagers, so for us, it was real easy. So you got these young guys in white garbs debating elders and grown folks and giving them the business to the best of your ability. I don't even know what the heck we was talking about those days, but we used to do it, right? And we would be just debating and debating and debating. And while we were debating, especially like on 42nd Street, you would draw crowds. So you debate, find a Christian, find a Hebrew Israelite, find anybody who wanted to debate. We didn't care who it was. Just somebody who's going to engage you. And you would debate. So whoever was considered among us in the group the best debater, so it was just 2 of us, whoever's the best debater, whoever knew the Bible the best, whoever knew the Quran the best, can put it all together, you do the debate. And with my partner, that used to fall to me, right? So, and we used to start debates. Somebody's on their little soapbox talking junk, I go up to him and hit him and start a debate. While the debate's going on, you got this young kid going back and forth. People were impressed. And the other one would be going around with the bucket, getting money, right? So that's how we used to, whenever we would get low, close, we need quota. Come on, let's hit 42nd Street. Let's go do it. And then we would just go down 42nd, make sure you got the bucket out and get the white people. Because when we call them a devil, they're going to give some money, right? Wow. So, and believe me, those white people visiting New York, be like, he called me a devil. I feel so bad. Here's $20, right? It was just wild when you think about it. I'm sorry. We had a whole system, but we had so my point was about that. I was never afraid for a debate, right? I was never afraid of a debate, never. And you gonna find them because you're all day long. You're in the streets and talking, and it wasn't all just about money all the time because we believe what we were saying. So you would be discussing 5%ers, all kinds of stuff all the time. But what it did, even though in those days we were debating about things we were all, I don't know what the heck we was talking about, but nevertheless, we learned the skill of debating. That's what we did learn, how to debate, right? That was a skill that was learned, and it was acquired in the streets of New York, right? How to debate, right? So he had his agenda. So I was telling Imam Genius, man, I don't care about losing no debate. I'm going to learn every time I have a discussion. And I really, now I'm talking about as a Muslim, understanding Islam and Ahl Sunnah. So it's all win because it's sincerity. I don't have another objective besides to spread the truth, right? So it's not about money for me. It's just, yo, this is the truth. So however it works, whether it comes from my side or your side, long as we get to the truth, I'm happy with that, right? So it's a big difference. So if someone comes and they have their own agenda, as long as the agenda is truth, we're going to get somewhere. So even if we have to go to falsehood first, we're going to eventually get to the truth because that's my objective in a discussion. So that wasn't disturbing to me that he says what he says because actually we're going to get to the truth. And one of the truths I got to was that the dude came and lied to me for no reason. He came in, he said, Islam. That's more science temple talk. I've been to prison, bro. That's all the Moors talk like that. Islam, Mo. And I asked him that. What did he say? No, I'm Muslim. You a liar. Come on. You a more science temple, or you confused, which is worse. You might just be confused. But don't be a liar. Just say, listen, this is what it is. I believe that the Moors is right, or whatever. Don't lie. If that's what you believe, that's what you believe. We can discuss that. But lying is not going to help you, right? Don't lie. Just this is what I am. Or maybe I'm a mixture of everything and I don't know what the hell I am. Okay, that's fine too. But tell the truth. Oh boy, here come the brown guy. What is a Moor? You got to do your research. Brown man, that's a research project for you. What is a Moor? You're trying to learn the Black experience. So there was a man named Timothy Drew Ali. I think that's what he's, yeah. Timothy Drew Ali. He was in the early 1900s. He had a thing called the Moore Science Temple. All right, go research. I can't do all your Black homework. You got to do some yourself. And me and Shaquille always have fun, so don't take it personal, right? All right. So anyway, after I went off on that for a reason, I wanted to talk about our appearance on the Dope Muslim Woman podcast last night. Uh, uh, um, and I had some thoughts because on the podcast it's questions and answers, so you only can say part of what you thought. But I thought the topic was very good. I think my colleagues, uh, Imam of the Boombot and Imam Genius, that's Imam Fahim and Imam Naeem. I'm oldest. I think they did an excellent job, not just because they're my partners, but I think they did an excellent job on the subject. Uh, And that was a good question. Can I trust you? And for me, I think that's a serious question we should ask ourselves more than directing at somebody else. You should ask yourself, both the Black Muslim man and the Black Muslim woman, can I trust you? Right? And sometimes we look outward too much, right? Can I trust you? And I had wrote something down. Man arafa nafsahu arafa rabbah. The one who knows himself will know his Lord. And I think too many of us are not honest with ourselves. So I think the one that we need to sometimes look at is ourselves. Can I trust me to be honest with myself for my own well-being? Right? I mean, because we all have life experiences. Is a point where we got to be responsible and accountable for our own sugar, honey, iced tea. Right? Excuse me, this is my platform. You don't like it, as Fat Joe said, get lost. Sometimes we do, right? And I think we sometimes don't deal with that. Sometimes we have to own our own sugar, honey, iced tea. Really. And we don't like to deal with that. We always trying to push it off on somebody else. It's your fault why I'm jacked the hell up. We're just talking real, right? It's your fault why I don't know my deen. It's your fault why I'm heartbroken. It's your fault why I can't find a suitable spouse. What role do we play in our own destruction? Fatima is a black thing you wouldn't understand. I love it. See, you thought you was down, right? Oh my goodness. I love y'all so much. Where else you gonna find beautiful loved ones like this? Uh, Sugar honey iced tea is a nice way of trying to keep your mouth from being dirty and filthy. It's an adult way who's responsible to be serious about an issue, right? Without being foul. But you get the point. Uh, but seriously, let us all look at something. Accountability. Accountability. If we're going to make a change in our individual lives and in the lives of our communities, we have to be accountable for our own stuff and get down to what's really going on. right? So if we look at relationships, can I trust you? And you look at it from the relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Number one, everything that occurs, we Muslim, occurs by the will and decree of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Nothing in existence happens except that it is in accordance to the will and divine wisdom of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. That's some serious stuff. Allah mentioned in the Quran, وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ. And they will not, and you will not will anything except that Allah eternally willed it. And the Prophet said something in accordance to that. مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ كَانَ وَمَا لَمْ يَشَاء لَمْ يَكُونَ. Right? Whatever Allah willed to be shall be, and whatever Allah did not will to be shall not be. I need you to take those two things and I need you to embody them. Please, someone put it up. Number one, I think that's sort of takwir, the last verse. وَمَا تَشَاءُونَ إِلَّا أَن يَشَاءَ اللَّهُ رَبُّ الْعَالَمِينَ. Allah said, and you will not will except that Allah tabarak wa ta'ala willed. The Lord of the worlds. You don't will anything except that Allah willed. And the Prophet said, مَا شَاءَ اللَّهُ كَانَ وَمَا لَمْ يَشَاء لَمْ يَكُونَ. Whatever Allah willed to be shall be, and whatever Allah did not will to be shall not be. These are very important issues of creed that are not just things we believe and we say, but they're supposed to produce a certain state in us. And there are two states that I can think from that. One state, when we realize that, what we should develop is at-tawakkul. And the other is al-qana'ah. When we look at things that by the will of Allah, then rely on Allah. Because ultimately, everything that's going to occur is how He willed it eternally in Al-Azal. So you need to have some trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and some confidence in Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala, some reliance on Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. It's extremely important. And then you have to be content with what Allah decreed. And your job is to learn some wisdom and lessons and admonitions from what happens according to the divine decree of Allah tabaraka wa ta'ala. Not crying about the decree itself, what Allah willed to be. It's going to be that way no matter what you do. But Allah is not asking you to try to change His will. He wants you to learn to live a proper way of life, a prophetic life within His will. The way He decreed things, the way He willed things to be, I want you to obey me within that. I want you to worship me, to know me through that. That's deep. Every opportunity in life, every circumstance in life, especially al-masa'ib wa shada'id, calamities and difficult times, are the best times to get to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They're the best opportunities that sometimes we blow because we're so busy blaming others. They're the best opportunities. All of us have been through some form of difficulty, especially in our communities when it comes to relationships. We know what it feels like to have a broken heart. We know what it feels like to be betrayed. We all know that feeling if we've been around enough in our communities. We all know the feeling of someone not meeting your relationship expectations. Let me ask a question. How many of you have been in a marriage or some other kind of relationship, right? You don't have to tell me the relationship. I don't want to know. Not my business. But you've been involved with a partner, female or male, right? Your spouse, your whatever, in your life, and you felt that you've been betrayed. Just say me. How many of us have been in a relationship, right, with a significant other, your spouse, I don't need to know which one, but you felt that you was betrayed? How many of us? Be honest. We people, let's talk here. Don't tell me what it was. Just answer the question. I've been in a relationship. I've been in an entanglement, whatever the heck you want to call it. I've been in a marriage, and I felt I was betrayed. Let me see if I'm talking to black people or a bunch of people who are going to be foolish with themselves. So I'm seeing a bunch of me's. And we got a lot of people. Let me see some more me's. Where's the honesty? Come on. Right? Right? So I see men and I see women, all who say the same thing. Right? But I'm speaking relationships. I'm not speaking cults. I'm talking about relationships, like men and women, right? And I guarantee you, here's the next question. You're speaking from your side. I've been betrayed. Now I'm going to ask you to be honest here. If I spoke to that man or that woman about you, is it possible that they're going to say you betrayed them? Yes or no? If I spoke to the other person, the male or the female, who you say betrayed you, if I spoke to them without you, is it probably likely that they're going to say you betrayed them? Yes or no? Just be honest here. Right. Oh boy, here we go. See, we got to keep this real. Let's not be delusional here, right? Come on, stop. That's our nature. They're going to find a way to blame you somehow. That's just how it works. Very rare that the person will say, "Oh, I was just such a bad person, and he was all good, or she was all good," unless they still want to be with you, and that's the way they're trying to get back with you. But if they be honest, most likely they found something in you that was betrayal. It don't have to be you cheated on them. They found something in you that they felt was betrayal. Let me reverse that. So I am talking about they saying you cheated on them. I'm saying they found something that you didn't work out for them. And that was the reason why they betrayed you. Am I right or wrong? If you put me in this position and that's why I did what I did. Whether it's right, wrong, or different, it could be all nonsense. But let's keep it real. Someone will find a reason, right? Right, to blame you. That's us as human beings. That's what I'm trying to establish. And if the majority of us say that's true, then okay, let's deal with it as true. Let's not deal with the exceptions, right? Let's deal with what we know as the norm. Now we learn something as uh, adults and youth. There is two sides of the story, and then there's the truth, right? And you know what normally the truth is? We all participated usually in our own uh, letdown and our own disappointment in relationships. We've all contributed to that. And since we all contribute in some way to uh, our own disappointment in relationships, then we need to own our stuff. And I think that's always the starting point of healing. Just me talking from how I feel about it. Because it's what I had to do myself. Because I've had my heart broke. Yeah, I've been heartbroken before. But I never blame nobody else for my heartbreaking. I own my stuff. I can take it. Maybe initially I might blame somebody else, but after I think about it, man, I know I helped in that, right? I know I did, and I can deal with that. I can be honest with myself. You played a role, right? You played a role. Don't act like you were just some innocent victim, right? Why bend your head? Because I'm being sarcastic. No, stop. Of course, I wasn't. Never a problem. It's always the other person's fault. How can Imam Amin be a problem? Do you know what pleasure it is to be with me? No, I'm joking. Oh my good. But seriously, I think that should be the starting point of all these discussions when we want to be honest with each other. What is my role? Did y'all ever do this when you was a kid? Because I was a bad kid. I used to get in trouble a lot, right? And my mother would give me instructions, right? My mother would give instructions. And of course, as a young wayward kid, I would always break the instructions. And consistent with her program, I would always get a whooping too. Always get in trouble. And every time she would get ready to give that beating, my words would be, someone did this. And she would like, what did you do? And it would always be the opposite of what she told me to do. And she said, I'm not giving you a beating for what they did. I'm giving you a beating for what you did. I didn't understand that. She would admit that I was right while at the same time disciplining me for being wrong. It took me a long time to understand that. My mother was teaching me accountability for your own actions. So say I would get in suspended, right? So I can't. I went to a white school, so I was always say they was doing us wrong, but she would always say, when it comes to adult, I talk to the adults, not you. But I had a smart mouth and a big mouth, so I want to talk to adults myself, right? And I would get in trouble, and she would come and give me a beating, and I would say, "But she did this," and she said, "But what did you do?" I told her, "You can't. Who are you to tell an adult anything?" And there would be my beating, right? What was it about? It was about you being accountable for what you did to lead to the situation. Because if you'd have just shut your mouth, I would have dealt with that teacher. But the fact that you decide you're grown and you're going to tell the teacher how it is, I'm forgetting all about what she did, and I'm gonna deal with what you did. That was the way. You might not like that style of parenting, but as an adult, it worked for me, right? My mom taught me how to be accountable for what I do, right? And believe me, I didn't get these uh, lessons till I got older. I never understood it probably till I was about, when I understood it? I was 27 years old when I began to understand what my mom was teaching me as a kid. I was about 27, right? And I realized, like, dang, that's what she was talking about? 27 years old, right? In the worst of circumstances, I said, that's what she was talking about. And I remember, funny discussion. I remember I was in lockdown in Raybrook, New York, FCI Raybrook, right? They put me in a hole for 6 months straight with no communication to nothing, right? And they was having like transfers. Because if people's in hole that long, they're going to transfer you. You're not staying in that institution. So I know I'm going to penitentiary. I understand that part, but I don't know where and when. It's part of their mental stuff. And so, like every week or every other week, maybe every 2 weeks or something, they have a prison run where they take the people who's leaving the institution to other prisons. So, the closest penitentiary to there, Lewisburg. So the Lewisburg bus go, I'm not on it. Terry Hut, no, I'm on it. Leavenworth, not on it. Marion, not on it. Bastrop, Texas, not on it. Like, after a while, I got the point. I'm like, they can really send my butt to the ADX. I got the point. I said, they get ready to do me. I got the point. I'm like, every penitentiary going out, because they had these were the old penitentiaries, but they had some new ones. Every bus load, I'm not on it. I'm out of here. I'm out of here. Because we are one sailor, so you lock down, but you hear people moving, right? So I write to the Bureau of Prisons. I don't know how I do a kite down the cell to somebody else because they was blocking anything I would do. And you throw kites. Anyone who's been in prison, you make a kite and you throw it down to a cell who's someone who ain't as much trouble as you, and they mail it out under their name. I tried that. So it actually got intercepted. And the deputy warden came to my cell. I never forget this because it reminded me of my mom, right? He came to my cell. He said, I don't care who you try to reach. We're going to deal with you, right? I was 27. I never forget it. He said, we're going to deal with you. You're not going to keep disrupting the orderly running of these institutions. This is the Federal Bureau of Prisons, not your house, not your religious, what did he call it? Your religious, I forget the word he used, which means where you go and recruit religious people to follow you, right? He said, this is the Federal Bureau of Prisons. You don't run this. And he said, we're going to teach you a lesson. And it sounded like my mom. They're going to teach you a lesson. And I remember him pleading with me. It was too late, but he still put the plea out. Maybe I could learn something as a young boy, because he's an older guy. He's like, this young kid, man, he just don't get it, right? Because it wasn't my first rodeo. He said, why you can't be like every other inmate? Why you can't come in here, just do your time and go home? Why you got to be on some mission? He said, why you got to be on some mission? Why you can't be like every other inmate? Just go, do your time, and go home to your family. I never forget that speech, because it reminded me of my mom. Serious. I was looking at this guy. I'm like, I saw Miss Pat. I'm like, just telling me that as a kid, right? Uh, and I was talking to my wife about this yesterday after the show. And I remember when I entered the ADX, the way they do it is like they try to make it like something out of a space movie or something. You know, like it's real. The way they do it is like really, really try to mess with your brain, right? You walk in, you go underground, it's all black, underground. Then they got these long, like, nightsticks, like, they look like just this. The way they do is just to make you like, oh, dag, I'm at the last stop. The way they do that stuff, it's all mental stuff. These people are vicious, right? Uh, but I remember that. I remember that like it was yesterday. It's images that will never go away. You're always going to remember those images. And I think it's designed like that, right? Uh, but and as I'm sitting in the cell, I'm thinking to myself, and that's when it clicked in when my mom was telling me, look what you did. You can blame the Wahhabis all you want. That's what I said, right? Damn Wahhabis and Shiites ratted on me, cowards, right? That's the young guy, right? They ratted on me. They can't stand the truth. So they went to the man on me, dropped slips. No, you a hero. Not you a dummy. You a hero. Our mind. That's how it works. Right? Cowards. SubhanAllah, youth. Right? But actually, I was responsible for my own situation. I was responsible. I played a role in that. Yeah, they did drop a slip. Yeah, they were standing against the truth. But did I have to go about it the way I went about it? Right? Did I have to do that? Because there were people in the institution that were there before me and they didn't get in that situation. Why I had to be the one to be in that situation? Right? I'm not the first one that had a bad relationship. You're not the first one that had a bad relationship. What did you do for your relationship to turn out the way it did? And we never ask ourselves that, right? We never ask ourselves, what did I do? When am I going to be responsible for my own actions? And I'm just making all these analogies because a lot of times when we talk about relationships, and I don't mind sharing myself because I don't have nothing to lose. And me, ain't nothing you can say about me. My life, man, I've been through so much, I don't care about what you're talking about. It don't make me no difference because I've seen it worse. I've seen it bad. So I'm not like, man, I don't care about what you say. It don't make me no difference. If I can help you from my experience, I'll give it to you. It doesn't matter, right? Because you know what I learned out of all of this, especially the fact that I'm doing this, shukr. I'm grateful to Allah, and I know Allah got your back. My back, your back. If we just do the right stuff, Allah got us. I'm sure of that 100%. I have no doubt, certainty, yaqeen. Allah got us. I've seen it, so I'm not like, it's not a story. It's a bunch of people who know me. I've been through it. I understand. I'm not making it up. It's people here who was actually there with me when it happened. It's people who were in Colorado who know me, right? It's not a story. It's real. I've been through it. People who know me in the streets, knew me before Facebook and YouTube and this stuff. They know me. It's people who see me every day. They know me in the masjid. I've been through it. So I don't have nothing to hide. I've been heartbroken. People know I've been through relationships problems. I've been through divorce. I've been through it. People know my business. It's not hidden. I'm an imam. It's hard to hide. Every mistake is going to come out. So might as well live with them, right? No need hiding. It's going to come out. Somebody's always looking to dig up your dirt. So it don't make a difference. That's why I like to be free. And what will happen is through our experiences, we can help build each other, right? I've been through some traumatic relationship stuff, but I never look at the other person and say, it's their fault why we didn't make it. I start to think about, what did I do? And when I think about that, I'm so consumed with my role in destroying my relationship that it's really almost difficult for me now to see the other's role because they need to do that. And maybe I can help, but you need to do that. But in terms of me, if I'm going to heal, I need to look at myself. And I need to ask myself that question. Can I trust you not to hurt you? Right? Right? I need to ask myself, can I trust you not to hurt you? Talking to myself. Right? And I think when we get to that stage, I think we can start healing a lot of our problems, not just relationship problems, life problems, community problems, family problems. When we start really owning our own stuff, man, because we have stuff. And I don't think it's healthy to keep telling someone who is a participant in their own victimization that you're a victim. If put that up, please. Somebody's a quick typer. I don't think it's healthy to keep telling someone who's a participant in their own victimization that you're a victim. I don't think that's healthy. That's just my own uneducated, non-professional opinion. But life experience tells me that. And I got a lot of life experience. I have a lot of life experience. That I do have. And I think that's why I don't do good at therapy and all that stuff. Therapy, for me, I don't go looking for somebody to tell me I'm a victim. I look for somebody to tell me the truth. I don't want you to tell me how I'm a victim. Even if I'm a victim, I need to also understand how I participated in my own victimization. I need to know that if I'm ever going to heal. I know sometimes I have counseling. Oh, I got to get ready to go. I have counseling with couples, especially women, because we got a lot of single women. And if y'all don't know, the Imam is the husband of every single woman in the masjid, even though he's not married to them. Now, let me see what you do with that. All right, I'm going to say it again. The Imam is the husband of every single woman in the masjid, even though he's not married to them. What does that mean? Astaghfirullah. What does that mean? I'll repeat it. The Imam is the husband of every single woman in the masjid, even though he's not married to them. Right? It's the Imam's fault why they're not married. What the hell? Yeah. I can't find a husband. What you doing about it? What you mean, what am I doing about it? Okay, I know where to start with this one. What you doing about it? Right? And when you talk to a lot of sisters, you know what you discover? You know what you discover? Serious. That we don't want to deal with our own stuff. I'm telling you from experience. And I think when we start dealing with our own stuff, both the women and the men, but mainly the women, because they got the most power, especially now. Women got all the power. They just don't realize it. Especially now in our time, women got all the power. They just don't realize it. All the cards is in your hand, right? All the cards is in your hand. And you know what a lot of women are missing? They don't value themselves. Put that there. Imam Amin said it. I said it. And I said it based on a reason. The problem with a lot of Muslim women not finding what they need, or even when they find somebody not getting what they want, is because they don't value themselves like they should. Now, there may be reasons for that. I'm not negating reasons. But I'm telling you, if you value yourself, and that's going to take work, you could get almost whatever you want from a man. And that's a skill set, though. I'm not saying that's easy, right? But you can get anything you want. almost, right? When you value yourself. And stop playing victim. This is just my opinion. Stop playing victim. And because you don't put people's personal business out, I could give you a million examples of it. I could give you too many examples, right? But I don't put people's business out like that, right? But I'm telling you, one of the root causes is not valuing themselves. And I know some sisters here, they'll tell you, I say that all the time. That's why one of the easiest things I do for me is be honest with people. And I can alleviate a lot of stress. I've learned that as Imam. Just go be honest with them. They'll leave you alone. Right? They ain't gonna bother you with their nonsense because they know you're gonna tell them the truth. Just tell them the truth. Don't lie to them. Don't play no games with them. Just tell them the truth as it is. They're gonna leave you alone with their nonsense. I don't want you to leave me alone, but I don't want you wasting my time with your nonsense, right? How many of you are imams here? Please say me. I want to know how many imams with real communities, not internet imams. Real living people that see you and touch you and can feel you and right face to face in a masjid with responsibility. Real imams. How many real imams is here? I ain't talking about you online and talking junk. I'm talking about a real imam. So I got one, Imam Naeem. Only one in real imam with a real community, real living people. All right, Abu Muhammad. That's two. I'm just looking for the imams because I want to ask y'all a question. So we only have two so far that I see. Okay. How many times, if you're a real imam and you're honest with people, that sisters come to you asking you to help them to get married, and then they go do everything opposite of what you told them to do? How many times that has happened to you? Sister come to you, I'm trying to get married, brother imam, help me, and go do everything you told them not to do to get married. Do everything you said don't do. How many times has that happened? So these is imams. Many times, 99% of the time, right? So I'm an imam and I would say the same thing. And all of that, and how many times did those same women come back to you talking about problems in their marriage and he ain't doing me right or he abused me or whatever? How many times has that happened? When they did that they came back to you with the same issue that you told them to avoid. And this is sisters talking. So somewhere, this is not Imam Amin making it up, because that's Philadelphia, that's Pittsburgh, New York, experience, people been around. I'm not making it up. It's real stuff. So I'll continue this tomorrow because I think it's important. I didn't even get all I wanted to get out. But I'll have part 2 tomorrow because I want to really help us. Right? Right? I want to help us. Because if I ever told you what I've been through in relationships, which I would never do, right? What I've been through in relationships, If I play victim, I should be a broken dude. In my life, what I've been through in relationships, marriages, Ya Latif, Utuf Bina. Oh my God, right? I should be nuts. But guess what? I'm not nuts. And I'm happy. I'm happily married. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has blessed me way more than I would ever imagine. And I believe a part of that is me accepting my own responsibility in the failure of my marriages or relationships. I believe that's a key element, right? I believe that's a key element. That I reached a point in my life where I understand, yo, man, you got some stuff you need to work out. You need some stuff to work out, right? I've never been this happy in my life. I'm talking about overall. I had moments of happiness, right? But overall, subhanAllah, I've never been this happy. And guess what? The same things that I dealt with in terms of dealing with women in general is the same stuff. Women are women and men are men. But the way I see it is totally different. And I'm able to blame myself for my own stuff. I'm able to do that. I've had relationships so bad, more than one, that I used to didn't want to go home. I used to sleep in my car. That's how bad the relationships were. I didn't want to go in the house. I would sleep in my car. Think about that. How stressful does that situation be? I used to sleep in my car. I don't want to go in the house. Right? I'm a man I'm talking about. So women like to always say, which no, I used to sleep in my house. I mean in the car. Don't go in the house. I would be in the driveway in the car asleep, not to go in the house. I'm a man, and I'm a man's man, right? I would sleep in my car. Man, I don't want to hear that stuff. I don't even want to deal with it. But it's my home. What I'm gonna do? I would sleep in the car. Subhanallah. Yeah, I'm in my car right now, right? But this is a nice car, luxury, right? So my point is accountability. I guess that's the word that we should ask ourselves. Can I trust you? Can I trust me? Yeah, to be honest with myself. And I think we need to start being honest with ourselves, man. And know the first thing as Muslims, we got to stop living somebody else's Islam and learn to live our own Islam. You hear what I said? We got to stop living someone else's Islam and learn to live our own Islam within our own reality and our own context. You have to learn to live Islam for you. Oh, I gotta go. Sorry, I'm gonna leave it right there. Learn to live Islam within your reality. I'm gonna stop there because I'm over time. May Allah reward you, inshallah. We'll talk about again tomorrow. Um, uh, I got to go to post Fajr reflections. I promised to be early and I'm still late. La hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. Barakallahu bikum. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah.